Hi, Willow class. It's only me, and I'm going to read some more facts about the ancient Egyptians. I've turned my camera off today because I thought the book and the pictures in the book were a lot more interesting than looking at my face. So here we go. Fact number 21. Like the pyramids, the riches and the royal tombs attracted robbers. The entrance to the Valley of the Kings was guarded, but robbers had broken into every tomb except one within 1,000 years. The only one they missed was the tomb of the boy king Tutankhamun, and even this had been partially robbed and resealed. Archaeologist Howard Carter discovered the tomb of Tutankhamun in 1922. An archaeologist is someone who searches for historical objects. Tutankhamun's body was found inside a nest of 3 mummy cases in a sarcophagus, which is another word for a stone coffin. The sarcophagus was inside a set of 4 wooden shrines, big enough to contain a modern car. I don't believe it. Temple visitors had to shave off their hair and eyebrows before they were allowed to enter the sacred buildings. Fact number 23. The ancient Egyptians built fabulous temples to worship their gods. Powerful priests ruled over the temples and the riches and lands attached to them. Many of the finest temples were dedicated to Amun-Ra, king of the gods. Chapter 24. The temple at Abu Simbel in the south of Egypt is carved out of sandstone rock. It was built on the order of Ramesses II. The temple was built in such a way that on 2 days each year, 22nd of February and the 22nd of October, the sun's first rays shine on the back of the inner room, lighting up statues of the gods. That is really quite phenomenal. And you can see here, this is a picture, I believe, of Tutankhamun's tomb, which Howard Carter found. Fact number 25. Big building blocks. Each block used to build the Great Pyramid weighed as much as 2.5 adult elephants. Labourers and copper chisels and saws to cut and shape the stones before dragging them on wooden sledges to the base of the pyramid. Look at the incredible feat that must have been. 26. Steep ramps of earth and mud brick were built to raise the stones onto the pyramid structure. As each new layer of stone was laid in position, the ramps were lengthened to allow workers to build the next layer. I don't believe it. Imhotep, the architect of the Step Pyramid at Saqqara, was a busy man. He was also a vizier, a doctor, a scribe, a high priest, and a poet. He served under a total of 4 different kings. A very accomplished man, I believe. Fact number 7. Oh, this is all about the mummies. Making a mummy was difficult and skilled work. First, the brain, stomach, lungs, and other organs were removed, but the heart was left in place. Next, the body was covered with salts and left to dry for up to 40 days. The dried body was washed and filled with linen and other stuffing to keep its shape. Finally, it was oiled and wrapped in layers of linen bandages. Number 28. Animals were made into mummies too. A nobleman might be buried with a mummy of his pet cat. Mummification was expensive, so people only preserved animals in this way to offer them to the gods. One mummified crocodile discovered by archaeologists was over 4.5 meters long. If you stretch your arm out, Willow class, that's probably roughly stretch them out, you're probably making 1 meter. So imagine 4.5 times that. Gosh. Fact number 29. Body parts were removed from the dead person and stored in special containers. The stomach, intestine, lungs, and liver were cut out and stored in 4 separate jars called canopic jars. Number 30. A mask was fitted over the face of a mummy. The ancient Egyptians believed that the mask would help the dead person's spirit to recognize the mummy later on. The pharaoh's mummy's mask was made of gold and precious stones. So what you see, Willow class, is when people died, they wanted to preserve the body. So they spent a lot of time sort of wrapping it and ensuring that the body parts and the organs were sort of carefully looked after, to the point where they even created jars to store them in. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Anyway, thanks for listening, Willow class. Speak to you soon. Take care.